It's nice to see everyone today. I'm Dr. James Marcum with another biblical prescription for life. Today I thought we'd talk a little bit about type 2 diabetes and natural ways to help reverse it and treat it. Diabetes, excuse the pun, is a big problem now. And it's been estimated that since the pandemic, many people have put on extra weight, increasing the numbers of type 2 diabetes in the United States and the entire world. Remember, this is a metabolic problem, and if the metabolism is altered, the way we store fats, lipids, everything else is changing. Our body ages quicker and we're more apt to get symptoms, and this is what we don't want to do. No symptoms. We want to prevent disease. But before we get into that discussion, let's look at a biblical prescription. Psalms 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. You know, our world is so fast. We have so much going on. Even as we listen to this video today about diabetes, I just want us to just take a second to just take a deep breath, relax a little bit, and think about ways that we can be still. And when we're still and in this quiet time, know that I am God. So hold that with you. Now, let's shift gears and talk about type 2 diabetes. There's a lot to be said about type 2, but I'm going to give those that have type 2 some strategies, some natural strategies to reverse it, treat it, to help out with it. Now, type 2 diabetes is sometimes referred as insulin resistance. What happens is our body's making insulin. Insulin takes the blood sugar and moves it into the cells. But all of a sudden, the insulin can't do its job as well because of the receptors. They malfunction, they get gummed up. They get gummed up with fat. So that's one predominant mechanism of insulin resistance. But a lot of people, sometimes we have this type 1.5 with the pancreas, through various reasons, also ages and doesn't make enough insulin. So some people need to have their insulin level measured to see exactly the best treatments. But all of these things that I'm talking about, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time, I'm trying to go through them really quick and let you know these are things you can do to help reverse type 2 diabetes, especially for insulin resistance. Number one, exercise. We want to try to exercise and move up to 1 hour a day. 10,000 steps would be a minimum. And one thing that's helped me out personally is try to walk at least 15 minutes after a meal. So number one, exercise. Number two, nutrition. There's lots of things that's been said about nutrition, but the basics is this. Eat a plant-based diet, lots of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains, with as little fats as you can get by with, and try to eliminate as much processed foods. When it comes to nutrition, try to drink only water. I would stay away from those fruit juices, for sure sodas. Eat foods with lots of fiber in it. You might want to add some flaxseed or something like that to make you have even more fiber. Try to throw some broccoli in there, because broccoli and other vegetables are excellent sources of chromium, which is needed. Try to decrease your total calories, especially if you have too much weight on board. And finally, eat lots of vegetables, because they also contain things like magnesium and alpha lipoic acid. Those are all chemicals that are needed to help insulin sensitivity and type 2 diabetes. So work on your nutrition. Go more plant-based. less fat, less processed. Number 3, try to lower the levels of stress in your life. That's hard. When we're stressed out all the time, no matter what it's from, you have higher levels of cortisol, higher levels of epinephrine. Those increase the amount of blood sugar that your body is producing. So decrease stress, no matter what that looks like, whether it's vacation, resting more, taking breaks, deep breathings. Of course, we want to encourage worship, but decrease stress. The next one, more rest, a weekly rest, a nightly rest. Don't disrupt those circadian rhythms that we've talked about before. More rest. Be still. We don't have to be busy all the time. Intermittent fasting is the next one. What intermittent fasting does, if your body goes a long period of time without eating, maybe 12 to 14 hours, your pancreas rests, your duodenum, your stomach, your body rests. When it rests, it can recover, have more energy to do the job it needs. Especially helpful in type 2 diabetes is try not to be a snacker. And if you're a snacker, snack on things like vegetables like carrot sticks, celery sticks, things of that nature. Snacking keeps the pancreas going all the time, keeps you busy all the time, making blood sugar, doesn't let the organs rest. Now, the next 5 things aren't as important, but it's shown to help type 2 diabetes to some disease. One is apple cider vinegar. That can be a little bit toxic if you eat it, drink it straight. So I take at least a tablespoon, 1 or 2, in a big glass of water and drink that. I do that a lot when I cheat because it helps me, and everyone's a little bit different. It helps me not absorb it. The calories is quick and the spikes aren't as great. So I especially use this when I might not eat perfectly, but that will lower it some. You can add cinnamon to your food. I like to put it on things like granola. I put it in my smoothies, in oatmeal, things like that. If you like garlic, continue taking garlic. There are some special botanicals that have shown to help to some degree. Berberine supplements, aloe vera, ginseng, and probiotics. I'm not a big fan of probiotics. If you eat healthy, you probably don't need to eat probiotics, but you have to use these nutraceuticals, these herb type medicines carefully because it's based on the medical condition, because many can interact with blood thinners and other medications. So you have to check with your doctor about side effects. I don't think they help that much. Make sure you have adequate levels of vitamin D. You might need to supplement D3 if your overall levels are below 30. I mean, you can get your D3 levels measured. I had a guy in the office the other day, thought he got out in the sun, his level was 16. He started vitamin D3 supplementation and his A1C, that's a measurement of 3 months of blood sugar, got better almost right away. And finally, make sure you're not doing things that increase your blood sugars like alcohol, cigarettes. Make sure you don't have hormonal diseases like thyroid disease, adrenal disease, Cushing's disease, things of that nature. So those are some ways to help reverse type 2 diabetes. The big one is exercise and plant-based nutrition. But I just wanted to throw out this and put it into your arsenal just in case you're one that wants to reverse it, because this is going to be a major problem because long-standing high blood sugars damages many parts of the body. Damages the eyes, damages the blood vessels, damages the kidneys. Can damage the nerves. You have neuropathies, all sorts of bad things can happen. So you want to get ahead of type 2 diabetes early. So these are some natural methods to help you reverse type 2 diabetes. And other than some of the botanicals, most of them don't have side effects. You can implement most of this on your own. So share this with your friends and neighbors. Below, if you have some experience in type 2 diabetes, give us your experience, your tips, things that you've learned, and share this with others that might help, because this is a problem that we're going to have for years. And if we can sort of nip this early and get into some good health habits, maybe we won't have to have end organ damage in the future. So thanks for joining me. I'm Dr. James Marcum, and that was another biblical prescription for life.